Okay, I think I figured out the Zoom. Okay. Let me just double check really quick. Okay, it looks like I have some participants. Okay, we are going to get started. All right, so you should be on your backs, nice and relaxed. And just start to deepen your breath a little bit. Maybe place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. And just start to feel yourself melt into the ground and release any tension from your body and from the day. And we'll take 3 big cleansing breaths together. So you'll start your breath down at your feet. And on your inhale, let it travel all the way up your spine, into your crown, and open your mouth, exhale. And we'll do that 2 more times. Big inhale. Feel your chest rise, your back press into the ground. Hold your breath at your crown and open mouth. One more, biggest yet of your day. Inhale. Maybe hold your breath up at your crown for an extra 2 seconds. Really expand through your chest, the back of your head. Open up your mouth, let it all out. And now just start to lick your lips sealed and just send your breath in and out of your nose. We call this our Ujjayi breath. So our Ujjayi breath helps to heat up our body. It helps to create a meditation with our flow and allow more space in our muscles and our joints and our ligaments. So however that feels good for you, just breathe in and out of your nose. Start to feel your breath travel down the back of your neck, down your spine, into your lower back. And we'll start to add in some movement. So wherever you're at, gently start to guide your knees in towards your chest. Wrap your hands around your shins and just rock from side to side. Massage out your lower back. And then keep a hold of your right shin. Place your left foot back on the ground and just grab either your right foot, your right ankle, or even your hamstring, and just pull your right leg towards your rib cage. This is called half happy baby. And you can take your right foot and roll your ankle around in circles if you're not holding on to it. Place your left hand on your left hip just to help guide it down towards the ground so you're not popping up that left hip. And then maybe you keep your left foot where it is or extend it nice and long. So we're just opening up through our right hip and stretching through our left psoas, releasing some of that tension. Breathe right into that space. Just one more round of breath. Yoga is a lot about breathing and moving at the same time, using your breath to help guide you through your movement. Guide your left foot back to the mat if it's not there already. And then take your right ankle and place it on top of your left thigh. So this is a seated figure 4. Make sure your right foot is flexed. You can stay just like this. This might be a lot in a lot of your hips already. You can take your right hand, place it on your right knee, and just start to press your right leg open. And if you're craving a little bit more, you can guide your legs in towards your body. Wrap your hands around your hamstring, your left hamstring, or even your shin. Keep both feet flexed and keep pressing that right knee out in front of you. Again, continuing that breath. Just one more round wherever you're at. Feel your lower back press into the ground. And then unravel your legs, extend them up to the sky, roll your ankles around, and come into that little ball again. And then we'll try it on the other side. So keep a hold of your left shin, place your right foot on the ground, and either grab your left hamstring, your ankle, or your foot, and come into that half happy baby. So your right hand is on your right hip, pressing it down into the ground. And then maybe you extend that right leg long in front of you. Drawing your left knee towards the ground or towards your rib cage, whatever is accessible for you. And breathing into it. One more round of breath. Guide your right foot back to the ground if it's not there already. Place your left ankle on top of your right thigh and come into your reclined figure 4. So you can take your left hand, press open your left knee. Stay here if this feels good, or guide your legs in towards your body. Maybe wrap your hands around your hamstring or your shin. Make sure to keep both of your feet flexed. This will just help protect your knees. And if you ever have any pinching feeling, always come out of where you're at. Okay, a little tightness is okay, but if there's ever any pinching, especially in your knees, just release, don't force it. Keep pressing your left knee open. Feel that stretch in your left hip. One more breath. And then slowly unravel, shake out your legs again, and come into that ball. If you have a block or a book, or even a pillow if you're in a hotel room, place it in between your legs and squeeze your legs together. So this will engage the outside of your hip flexors. Bring your arms out to a T or cactus them, and then just gently let your legs fall to the left. This is called easy supine twist. So you want to make sure that both of your shoulders are rested firmly on the ground. Your hips are on top of one another, and you're feeling that twist in the middle of your spine. And breathe right into that space. So the block or something in between your legs is good so that it doesn't cause pinching in your hips. Your hips can stay nice and open while you're twisting. And then maybe you take your gaze over to the right, or maybe you just keep looking up wherever you're at. Again, big, deep breath. On your next inhale, engage your core and start to lift your legs up through center, maybe even out for a second, and then let them fall all the way over to the right. Easy supine twist on this side. And find your alignment here, just like on the other side. Both of your shoulders are resting on the ground. Your hips are stacked on top of one another, and the twist is coming from the middle of your spine. Breathe right into that space, your thoracic spine. Maybe even you'll give yourself a self-adjustment. Keep squeezing your legs together. This will help for an added stretch in your hip flexors. On your next inhale, guide your legs back to center. Remove your block and just rock from side to side. One more time, massage out your lower back. When you're ready, you can grab your hamstrings and we'll start to rock and roll the length of our spine. If this is too much, you can always just roll onto your side and press yourself up. Wherever you're at, we'll make our way to tabletop. So if you're rocking and rolling, you can roll over your ankles and then step your legs back, find tabletop. So with tabletop, we want our shoulders stacked over our wrists and our hips are over our knees. Your feet are untucked and you're pressing the tops of your feet into the ground. Belly button draws into spine. We have a nice flat back here. And your chin will tuck in slightly so your neck is nice and long. Okay, on your inhale, come into a cow pose. Drop your belly down to the ground. Lift your chest up to the sky and draw your shoulder blades away from one another. Exhale, press and round, cat pose. So just like an angry cat, you want to dome your spine, tuck your pelvic bone in towards your center, and your chin comes in towards your chest. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, taking your time, cat pose. Feel each part of your vertebrae stretch out. And then just flow through this movement for about 30 more seconds. You can take in any other movements that feels good too. Maybe you sway your hips from side to side. You can shake your head, yes and no. Close your eyes if it feels good and just go with it, breath to movement. I'm gonna make sure everything, perfect. Yeah, and just start to waken up your spine. This cat-cow is good to do every day, maybe even twice a day. Right when you wake up in the morning, you can do your cat-cows, work out any tightness from your night of sleep. Okay, start to make your way back to stillness in your tabletop, and then extend your right leg long behind you. So you'll place the ball mount of your right foot on the ground, and we're stretching through our right calf. And just shift forwards and backwards a few times. And then come back to stillness, lift your right leg off the ground, let it hover. Keep your right toes pointed down, your right foot is flexed, and guide your left hand out in front of you. This is called bird dog. So this is really good for neutralizing our spine and stabilizing all of the muscles that support our spine. So with our bird dog, our chin is tucked, belly button in towards spine, engage your core, and we'll hold it here for 5 more breaths. Keep pressing through your finger pads. If this is a lot in your wrist, you can always place your hand on a block. It'll help loosen some tension. Engage your right glute. Keep your right toes pointed down to the ground. Stay for an inhale. And your exhale, release back to your tabletop. 1 more round of cat and cow. And then we'll switch to the other side. Extend your left leg long. Press the ball mount of your left foot into the ground and just shift back and forth. Stretch out your left calf. And when you're ready, lift your left leg up off of the ground, let it hover. Start to shift the weight into your left hand and extend your right arm long. Bird dog on this side. So engage your left glute, belly button into spine, always engage that core and keep your chin tucked. Feel those muscles around your spine engage and strengthen. One more round of breath. On your exhale, release your hands to the ground, knee to the earth, tabletop. And again, one more round of cat-cow just to equalize everything out. Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of core here. So tuck your toes and let your knees hover about an inch off of the ground. Belly button is into spine. Okay, and we're just holding it here. Engaging your belly, pressing through your heels. One more round of breath. And on your exhale, press through your hands and straighten your arms first, and then start to straighten your legs, downward facing dog. Okay, in our downward facing dog, there's a few options. If this is a lot on your shoulders and your wrists, you can always come back down to your tabletop and just stretch your hands out in front of you for puppy pose. You can always take your blocks underneath your hands, and this will help support your wrists a little bit more and take out some tension. Otherwise, wherever you're at, you can start to pedal out your legs. Maybe bend deeply into one leg and straighten through the other, pressing your heel to the ground, and then switch it out. And then come to stillness. So both heels down towards the ground. Your head is hanging heavy. Your chin is tucked towards your belly. And maybe you have a slight bend in your knees. This will allow you to press through your arms and lengthen your tailbone up towards the sky so that your torso is nice and long. On your inhale, gaze in between your palms and just walk towards the top of your mat. Come into a forward fold. Okay, so we'll be in this forward fold for a few breaths. I like to take my block, or if you have a pillow or a blanket, place it in between your thighs and your belly and then fold. It will open up through your lower back a little bit more and allow you to release. Your feet may be a little bit wider than hips width distance. Let your head hang heavy, maybe grab for opposite elbows. You can even interlace your hands behind your neck. And just release. Okay, this is also a great pose to do daily. It allows your head to be below your heart, your blood to recirculate through your body. It's very energizing and restorative. And maybe you have a slight bend in your knees. The more of a bend you have in the knees, the more of a stretch it'll be in your lower back. If you want to get into your hamstrings, straighten out your legs just a little bit more. You'll feel the difference. And then again, just like everything else, breathe into those tight areas. Okay, just 2 more rounds of breath in this fold. Letting it all melt down to the ground. And then if you used a prop, just remove it. Bring your hands down to the earth. On your inhale, come to a halfway lift. So your palms press into your shins. Your spine is nice and long, and your belly button is to your spine, your core is engaged. Exhale, forward fold. On your inhale, bend your knees generously and start to roll all the way up to standing. Nice and slow, take your time. When you get there, shrug your shoulders a few times. Bring your feet hips width distance, slight bend in your knees. Tuck in your tailbone. Inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky. Grab your left wrist. Exhale, side body stretch. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, side body stretch. Inhale, back through center. Cactus your arms, little back bend. Engage your core. Reach your hands up to the sky and then forward fold. Hinge at your hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Flatten your spine. Place your palms on the ground. Step your left foot back and soften your left knee to the ground. Low lunge. Okay, we'll take our left hand on the ground here. Right hand to your right inner thigh and just press it open. Maybe take some movements if it feels good. You can twist from side to side. You can shift back and forth a little bit. You can always place a block underneath your left hand for some support. But just open up through your right hip. One more round of breath. And then make your way back to center. Both hands frame your right foot and just shift your hips back. Come into a half split pose. So your right foot is flexed, your right knee is slightly bent, and maybe you use blocks to bring the ground a little closer to you. So with your half splits, okay, you want to make sure your torso is nice and long before you fold over your right leg. And we'll just hang out here for 3 rounds of breath. Bump your right hip back, left hip forward. Slight bend in your right knee. This might be a lot for some of you, so maybe this is all you can do. Just rest and settle into a spot that feels good. One more round of breath. Slowly on your next inhale, bend into your front knee, walk your hands back to frame your right foot, lift your back leg off of the ground and step to your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend your knees, stand up nice and tall. Grab your left wrist. Exhale, side body stretch. Inhale, back through center, switch it out. Grab your right wrist, side body stretch to the left. Inhale, back to center, cactus your arms, lift your chest to the sky. Guide your hands back to touch and forward fold. Come up to a halfway lift, flat spine. This time we'll plant our palms and step our right foot back. Soften your right knee to the ground. And just like on the other side, bring your left palm to the inside of your left thigh and just press it open. You can come onto the edge of your left foot and just take any movements that feel good. Just create some space. As long as it's not pinching, do what feels intuitive in your body. Breathing as always, don't forget to breathe. And then slowly make your way back to center. Your hands frame your left foot, and then we'll shift our hips back, half split. So your left foot is still flexed, slight bend in your left knee. Okay, and this should really be stretching out and feeling good in your left hamstring. So breathe right into that meaty area of your hamstring, right where it's the most tight. And again, you can use the blocks if you need to help lengthen your torso and then hinge at your hips. So we don't want any rounding like this. Make sure you have a nice flat spine when you fold. 2 more breaths. Okay, start to bend into your left knee. Hands frame your left foot, lift your right leg off the ground and step to your forward fold. Halfway lift, exhale, fold. Inhale, stand up nice and tall. This time, just cactus your arms, back bend. Hands up through center, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your palms, step your left foot back. Okay, this time we're gonna keep our left knee off of the ground and just sink our hips towards the earth. Okay, we're lifting our chest up. You can use your blocks here. So this should be a little bit deeper of a stretch in our left psoas. Stay for an inhale. On your exhale, you're going to straighten your front leg and fold. This is called modified pyramid pose. So your back heel is still lifted. Can't really see me. There you go. Back heel is still lifted. Just like in our half splits, we have a nice long torso and we're hinging at our hips and folding over this right leg. Slight bend in your right knee and press down through your right big toe. It'll help stretch it a little. Bump your right hip back, left hip forward. Okay, we're gonna do a little flow. So on your inhale, sink your hips down to the ground, lift your chest up. Exhale, pyramid pose. Fold over your right leg. 2 more times. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Okay, stay in this pyramid. Maybe you walk your hands to the outside of your right foot for a little bit deeper of a stretch. Or just stay where you're at, 2 more rounds of breath. Okay, frame your right foot, bend into your right knee, and step to your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, stand up nice and tall, arms to the sky. Exhale, cactus your arms, open up through your chest. This time, flip your hands down, interlace them at your lower back, and then fold. Draw your knuckles up over your head. And if this is too much, just release that grip and come into your forward fold. Head hangs heavy. Maybe your knuckles keep falling forward in front of you, and this is a nice neck, cervical, spine stretch. Okay, inhale, halfway lift. Release your spine. Hands to the earth, step your right foot back. And we're keeping our right knee lifted this time. Unless this is a lot, you can always soften your back knee down. It's always an option for you. Okay, but our hips are dropping down towards the ground. Our chest is lifting up towards the sky. We're just holding it here for 1 more breath. Keep lifting your right hamstring up towards the sky. And on your exhale, straighten your left leg. Stay high on the ball mount of your back foot. Make sure your torso is nice and long first, so you're coming to this halfway lift. And then hinge at your hips and fold. Oh, there's a helicopter. Okay, keep bumping your left hip back, right hip forward. Slight bend in your left knee and press down through your left big toe. Okay, and we'll go through that flow. So on your inhale, sink your hips, lift your chest. Exhale, pyramid, straighten your left leg and fold. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, pyramid. 1 more. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Okay, hold your pyramid here for a few more rounds of breath. If you tried walking your hands to the outside of your leg, on the other side, try it on this side. So your hands will come to the outside of your left foot. We're still bumping our left hip back. right hip forward, and pressing down through our left big toe. One more round of breath. Okay, bend into your front leg, frame your left foot, and this time, instead of stepping to a forward fold, we'll step back to our high plank. Okay, so a little more core strength here. If this is a lot, you can always soften your knees down. Just listen to your body. If you're in your plank, your thighs are rotating up towards the sky. Your belly button is to your spine, and you're pressing through your finger pads. You almost have a slight little bit of a dome in your back. Draw your shoulders down away from your ears. Whew. 2 more rounds of breath. And on your inhale, shift forward, and with control, as slow as you can, lower all the way down to the ground. When you get there, untuck your toes, press the tops of your feet into the mat, lift your chest up off of the ground, and maybe your hands hover just a little bit for baby cobra. So we're engaging our glutes to help protect our lower back in this back bend. And if this is a lot, just stay down. Listen to your body. Okay, on your exhale, release to the earth. Inhale one more time, baby cobra. Maybe you lift a little higher. Exhale, lower. This time, take your hands out to the side of the mat. Tent your fingertips and point your elbows up to the sky. Inhale, peel your chest up. Exhale, drop your right shoulder, look over your left. This is one of my favorite stretches, especially if you have neck and shoulder pain. This is a nice little adjustment to help with that. Okay, inhale, come back to center. Exhale, drop your left shoulder, look over your right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, release all the way down to the ground. Guide your hands by your chest so you can either press up to your tabletop or tuck your toes, lift your thighs off of the ground, engage your core, press up to your plank, exhale, downward facing dog. Big inhale, open mouth, let it all out. All right, soften your knees down to the ground, but keep your toes tucked under. Okay, we're gonna come to sitting on our heels and do a nice stretch. This might get a little painful for the bottom of our feet. So especially if you're in a job where you stand all day, like flight attendant, your feet get really sore. So this will help stretch out the bottom. If it's too much, you can always take a block underneath your sit bones. You can place a pillow or a block in between your heels and your glutes. You can just skip it in general. Maybe you sit in hero's pose or come to seated on your sit bones, wherever you're at. And then while we're doing this, to distract ourselves, we'll stretch out our necks a little bit. So take your right arm out to the side, turn your thumb down so your palm is facing behind you, and guide the back of your right hand to your lower back. Your elbow is out to the side. Your left ear comes down to your left shoulder, and this should be a great stretch in the right side of your neck, your scalene muscles. And then take your chin and just tilt it down to your chest and tilt it up to the sky, like you're flossing. You're flossing your cervical spine. You're flossing those muscles and ligaments that attach to it. And then maybe linger in one spot if it feels really good. Okay, don't think about your feet. We're almost there. Come back up to center. Release your hand. switch it out. Extend your left arm out to the side. Flip your thumb down, palms facing behind you. Left palm to the back of your lower back. Right ear, right shoulder. Just like you did on the other side. Your right ear, your chin can come down towards your chest or up to the sky. Whew, my shins are burning too. Don't worry, we're almost there. And then linger in one spot if it feels good. Okay, head up, arms out, hands on your thighs, and then walk yourself forward to your tabletop, untuck your toes, and slap them out on top of the ground. Whew. All right. And then make your way to your seat. Swing your legs around and we'll come into this butterfly pose. So it's more of a passive butterfly pose. Your feet are touching, your legs or your knees are spread out, but don't really have tight into your body. Keep them far in front of you. And then you can even take your blocks, place them on top of your feet. You can stay just like this. This may be a lot in your hips already. And in that case, if you need support, your blocks can come under your knees. If you want to go a little deeper, fold at your hips. Your forehead can go on top of your block and just gently release. Okay. Gently release. Don't apply any force or pressure. Just passively let yourself fold. Okay, slowly lift yourself back up. We're gonna finish in a seated position with a little bit of a breathing exercise. So I always like to sit on my block or a pillow or a blanket, something to just lift your hips up a little bit higher than your knees. It'll help take some tension out of your hips. Okay, so we're gonna do what I call, well, what's called alternate nostril breathing. So you can keep your left hand rested on your thigh. On your right hand, your pointer finger and your middle finger will come to your forehead. Your right thumb will come to your right nostril, index finger, or ring finger rather, to your left nostril. Okay, so you're gonna start by closing your right nostril. And on your inhale, let your breath travel in through your left nostril. Close your left nostril. Exhale, your breath comes out of your right. Inhale through your right. Close your right. Exhale out of your left. Okay, one more round. Inhale through your left. Close your left nostril. Exhale through your right. Inhale through your right. Close your right. Exhale through your left. Release both hands on top of your thighs. Inhale through both nostrils. Open mouth. If you have the time, I'd recommend staying sitting in this position for a few more minutes if you can, 5 more minutes or so, and just do a little meditation. Just close your eyes and just only pay attention to your senses and what's around you. Take a moment to just reset and let all of this integrate through your body. If you're ready to end your practice with me, you can bring your hands to heart center. From my heart to yours, namaste. All right, that was a little bit over time, but thank you all for joining. I think my phone might be dying soon. you have any questions, send me a message. You can send it on here or on my Instagram. And this was fun. It's great seeing all of you on here. Okay. Let me allow you to talk. Jennifer, hi.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Hi.
Hi.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Just were you able to hear me all of class, correct?
Yep.
Hello? Okay, great. I'm sorry we were having such difficulties with the Zoom and everything.
Hey, you figured it out pretty quickly as you could.
I know. How do you feel though? How was that for you?
That was really nice. Really nice.
Do you practice yoga regularly at all?
Not as often as I would like, but I definitely like joining things when I see them like this. I'm one of your sister's friends.
Great, yes.
So I saw her posted it. I'm like, oh.
Oh, you are?
Yep.
Wait, are you from Woodstock or from college?
Kind of both. I went to Woodstock.
Are you from Woodstock or?
Yeah, I went to Woodstock North. But then I also went to ISU.
Got it.
So.
Okay, fun. Aw. Well, Sammy wasn't even on this, so you're showing up for her.
I know, right? Yeah, I was gonna join on Instagram, but I was like, oh, if there's a Zoom link, it's kind of nice to like see everything from my laptop. So.
Exactly. Well, and I feel like you could see more of me too in the Zoom. In the phone, I was trying to like, oh, you can't see my foot or you can't see my hand.
Yeah.
It was a little, I like the Zoom on the computer. It's a little nicer.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, do you have any other questions at all?
No, I don't think so. That was just really nice. I kind of just,
okay.
It was like perfect timing. I just tuned in. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. I hope you sleep extra well tonight.
Thanks. Have a good night.
Okay, have a good night. You
Bye.
too. Bye.